Hey y'all, it's Jody Mae. Thanks for joining me for another What's for Dinner. This week was super easy, super delicious, and I hope you guys try them. If you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click that bell so you don't miss any future videos. If you guys are returning, thank you so much for sticking around. I hope you enjoy this week. This week we had fish and tater tots, we had vegetable soup, and we had a bacon cheeseburger roll. I hope you guys enjoy. You guys, I got these fish patties over at Kroger, and I wanted to try them just because they were different. I have not tried them before. You guys, they really did turn out good, and I do like the flavor of them. So all I did here was I sprayed some nonstick cooking spray on my cookie sheet. I put some of the fish patties on there, and then I put the tater tots in there, and I put them all in the oven at the same time. I did flip the fish patties over once, and I rolled the tater tots halfway through. Now, I did make my own tartar sauce. For this, I used some bread and butter pickles, and trust me when I say moving, you will lose things. So in the process of moving, I have lost my electric chopper somewhere, and I can't find it. So I had to use this hand chopper. It ended up being a mess, and I had to delete some of the clip because I didn't even push it down all the way, guys. It was a total fail. Anyhow, I did end up getting it chopped up, and I got the pickles all minced. And then to the pickles, I'm just going to add about 3 tablespoons of Miracle Whip, and then I mixed it up really well. Another thing that I lost in the move was my paprika. I could not find it. Normally, I add about a half a teaspoon of paprika to this, just so it'll give it a smoky flavor. But either way, it turned out really good, and I hope you guys try it. Now for this vegetable soup, it was almost a 2-pound beef roast, and I just sauteed each side. It was about still half frozen, but I went ahead and got it started anyway. Like I said, I sauteed each side pretty good. I had to manhandle to flip it over for a minute. And I do need to get a stainless steel Instapot. That is on my to-do list. But anyhow, I went ahead, and after I sauteed each side, I put in 1.5 cups of water, 2 beef bouillon cubes, about a half a teaspoon of pepper, about 2 teaspoons of my mixed seasoning, which is garlic powder, onion powder, seasoned salt, pepper, and paprika. And then I added in about a half a teaspoon of cumin. To that, I'm also going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of the steak seasoning. Then I will add about 2 teaspoons of minced garlic, and then I chopped up a medium-sized onion, and then I put that in there as well. And I went ahead and started that cooking process for the meat. Now, I went ahead and I thought I had frozen corn in the freezer, and I didn't. So I went ahead and took some frozen corn on the cob out, and I cooked them down just enough to get them unthawed. And I went ahead and cut the kernels off of them. I had this sitting to the side and ready to go. Now, once the meat had cooked down for about 25 to 30 minutes, I went ahead and took it out, and then I started putting in the vegetables in the broth. The meat was cooling down so I could, cut it up a good bit, and then I went ahead and added in 1/3 of a bag of the potatoes, 2 cans of the cut green beans. These were already drained, and then I added in 1 can of the diced tomatoes with green chilies, and then of course the corn. I went ahead and cut the meat up, and then I put it back in, and I don't show the clip on here. I didn't realize it wasn't recording, but once everything was back into the pot, I went ahead and cooked it for another 30 minutes. Now, to make this cheeseburger log, I went ahead and started with the bacon first. Yes, guys, I know I should have used a knife, but being frazzle-minded as I have been a lot here lately, I don't know what the word I was thinking, but I went ahead and used my scissors, and trust me when I say it took some manhandling to get it cut. But once it was cut, I went ahead and got it in there and got it going. Let me know if you guys make any of these same goofs whenever you guys are cooking, because trust me, using a knife at that point would have been a whole lot faster and a whole lot easier on my hands. Now, once the bacon got browned up really well, I'm telling you, I saved every bit of the bacon grease that I could out of this recipe, or out of this batch, just because I didn't have any more left from the move. I got rid of a lot of things and lost a lot of things, unfortunately, but with my bacon grease, I do use it a lot in a lot of different recipes, as you guys will notice, because fall weather is here and winter is right around the corner. So I'm going to save all this bacon grease, and once it's cooled off, I'll put it into the refrigerator, and then with this bacon, I'm going to actually take half of it out for a future recipe. Now, once that was finished, I went ahead and added in a bag of already cooked hamburger that I had in the freezer for one of my meal preps. So that was super simple. All I had to do was just heat it back up. I did put it in a microwave for about 30 seconds just to get it to where I could crumble it better and speed up the process. So once that started cooking down and heating back up, I went ahead and added in about 2 teaspoons of minced onion, and then I let it cook down really good. Now, you guys, there is a clip that's missing in this, so I'm going to go ahead and explain what was in it now ahead of time, because you're going to be confused when I start prepping. Once this was cooked and the onions started, becoming tender again and hydrated, all I did was put it in a bowl, and then I mixed in the cheese, about 3 tablespoons of ketchup, and about 1 tablespoon of mustard, and I mixed it really well. Once I did that, I went ahead and started getting all of these crescent rolls put out on my pizza pan, and trust me, you guys, the ones that are not buttered flavored are the best ones for this recipe. I'm telling you, the last ones were really good. We do love butter, but it may have been a little too much butter in the end for a lot of people. So this year I didn't add any butter to the top. All I did was just use the regular original crescent rolls from Pillsbury. You guys can use the off-brand too, but they didn't have any whenever I went to the store. But all I did here was just push them together, and then I went corner to corner with them. This time here, it made it a whole lot easier and a lot less time to put it together. Now, whenever I go to assembling this, you guys, it's super simple, I promise. You guys can decorate it, do whatever you want to, especially with the holidays coming around. And I was actually going to do Philly cheesesteak with this recipe, but I didn't realize I didn't have my cheeses on hand. And instead of having to just run to the store for some cheese, I just went ahead and made the cheeseburger log. You guys, this turned out really good, and the only thing I would truly do different, the flavor was on point. Trust me when I say that. But the only thing I would do different is I would actually cook it down with the cheese in it in the pan first. That way I know everything is, really, really, really soft and gooey with the cheese, because the cheese didn't get done. I mean, it got cooked, but it didn't get as gooey and as stringy as I like it. But other than that, you guys, the flavor was there. It was perfect. Everybody loved it. And it didn't even last but 15 minutes in this house. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. And here I took Taylor Elmore's advice, and I tucked the tips under the best I could, and it turned out better this way. They didn't fall apart on the edges. So that's the tip that I can give to you guys from her, so thank you very much, Taylor. Now, you guys do see pickles over here on the table. I did put them on the side. I didn't put them inside, and it turned out really good. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's video. If you did, leave me a comment down below, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. Thanks again for watching, y'all. Have a great day.